The next topic will probably cause some kind of reaction in you. The word is entitlement. We've seen that all across our news. We've seen it demonstrations all across the country in the last year. And my question to the panel is, whose responsibility is this entitlement mentality? Is it the employee's responsibility to be thankful for their job and always put in honest day's work? Or is it the employer's duty to continue to incent their people to perform and reward workers every time they do good? How do you strike a balance in your organization?
You know, for us it's interesting because we're in the business of demography and generations, and so when people say it's this young generation, they're like no other, you know, they've got this sense of entitlement, I see that a little bit. I definitely see that. Over our 14 years in business, I've seen a shift, but I have to tell you, I see it across the board. And I think it's a societal problem, a cultural problem, even in this economy. And probably for many of us, including myself, sitting here. And so we've tackled it a lot of different ways. First and foremost, I think we place more emphasis on personality over technical skills when we're hiring. Because if they were raised in an environment that's the way that they think, that's going to be a very tough road for us to hoe, for us to change that mentality. The second thing is we have a senior leadership team that's intergenerational, and we try to educate and emulate, this is very new for us, but the principles of servant leadership. And I think that's the best thing we can do, both as leaders in our community and leaders in our business, and I've really seen that be transformative. I have one person on my leadership team I specifically picked because she refused to say, I feel thankful for my job. And she's authentic and bold enough to have told her boss that, or stupid enough. And that was several years ago, and we've worked on that. And she, she'll, in our walk and talk, she'll say, David, I know you want me to love my job, and to live for it. And I say, no, and inside I think, no, I just want you to be thankful for how blessed you are. And I think we're making progress there, but I think the servant leadership thing is the best way to go. And helping people, by the way, like this, understand the difference between being a servant leader and being a slave. And there's a very big difference there.
This is a...
Does that look, I don't want to answer this?
No. It's how much time do I have? This is easily a soapbox kind of
By the way, I'm
discussion.
coming to you next, so have your questions ready.
Yeah, make them good. So it's easily a soapbox kind of topic, and I could kind of talk on about worldview, which I think is really kind of at the root of it, in terms of like, whose you are and what where your focus is, and what kind of just how you're wired and your belief system. So this generation, that generation, it's a societal issue, and I think that we as business owners can really speak into that. And we have to, and I'll talk just to myself here, have to be very careful to stay off of the soapbox that can be like, oh, well, if you only believed the way I did, you wouldn't have those problems that cause me headaches. But I think there's something more. I mean, depending on your perspective, if we translate ourselves to another time or another culture, just go around, spin the globe and put your finger on it someplace else, you could look at North America and be, everybody there is so has this entitlement attitude because they have clean water and clean air and all these things. I mean, no one here right now is under threat of death for just meeting here and praising God's name, but that we can't say that for other folks. So my thinking in this is kind of maturing, maybe, in that I have to look at entitlement within myself, and then try to have empathy with where people are, and try to understand where their thinking is coming from, and meet them there rather than, well, you just have a bad attitude. That's my My current, they can come back later and I'll give you an update.
Robert, do you want to add something?
Yeah, just a little bit. I was dropping my daughter off at school the other morning, and as I was moving through the parking lot, I noticed that the space closest to the front door had stenciled on it principal, his parking space. And I thought, that's probably not a great thing to do, because you're basically, again, just taking your leadership and setting them apart and creating the idea of entitlement just by how you're structuring your organization, something like that parking space up front. And one of the things that I'm thankful for, and not that it's any revelation that I came to, but my father started our company, and we started out in the basement of our home in Philadelphia. From the time that I became part of the company, my job, my title may have been treasurer, but my main jobs were, taking out the trash and doing the books and doing everything else that you needed in the company. And even to this day, in our company, we still do those things, and I'm glad about that, because I believe that there's no job that, our job is to get the job done. And no matter what that function is, I don't care if my title happens to be president or anything else, we'll take out the trash or do whatever else needs to be done. And I'm happy for that, because I think it models the right attitude, and our employees definitely pick up on that and have the same attitude as well. They don't just live in their job description, and I'm just thankful that we've been able to come up through that. Hopefully it'll continue on maybe through the next generation.